Hey beautiful souls, Hannah here from Reality Awareness. Welcome! I'm a little bit excited. This is the weekly intuitive update. However, today I felt really called to take us through releasing our spiritual vows of poverty so that you can claim your abundance and rise to the empowered lightworker that you are. I'm a little bit nervous about sharing this. This will be like completely live, channeled, live and just totally live. This is not pre-planned. I was actually going, maybe I should have like pre-planned something. I'm like, nope, because this is how I work. Hey Leanne, hey Tabitha, say hi when you're here guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me jump on and share this. Hey Tamsin, hey Rebecca. Welcome everybody. A little bit excited to have you here today. Hey Aurora. Let me know how you guys are feeling. I'm a little bit nervous, so I'm like, just because I'm like talking about this as well, just in a sense of like speaking about money. Actually, hey Corey, hey Callie, lovely to have you all here. Hey Lena, yay for loving this time of week. Hey Kamla, hey Siaf. So a little bit nervous to share this, just because it's pretty much exactly this, like, you know, like releasing the spiritual vows to poverty. It's like, oh, like spiritual people shouldn't talk about money because it's like unspiritual. It's like, hello people, like everything is energy. That includes money. That includes, like, do you know what I mean? It's like everything is energy. If you've got an aversion to money, you've pretty much got an aversion to everything. Right? Want to take that in? If we've got an aversion to money, we've got an aversion to everything. There's like a, like pushing it away. Yeah? Lots of lower back pain, especially last night was in tears with the pain. How interesting. How interesting, because lower back is total representation of money. Yeah? Money and trust. Yeah, it's big on money and trust. So let me just share this, because it's like the lower back is the base chakra, which is money, trust, life purpose, like all that jazz, right? So let me just share this, and then I'll as I said, I'm curious how you guys are feeling, because it's been a really full-on week, right? The past week with the solar flares and like all that jazz, which makes total sense why everything that came through last week came through, especially around base chakra on the Wednesday, which is when the solar flares hit, which is so interesting. Okay, one more share. Okay, welcome. All right, awesome. All shared. Okay, hey Kalia. So I'm going to go through the spiritual vows of poverty. I'm just going to speak a little about it, speak a little bit about it, and then I'll take us through, I feel like there'll be some sort of channeled meditation that will come through about it. And then obviously I'll do the weekly intuitive update, yeah? I'll do that after we've spoken about spiritual vows. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use these cards. This is a new deck that I bought. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them yet, so we'll see. Hey Shannon. Hey Emma. So much shedding. Yes, there's been a lot of let go. Oh, you don't usually have back pain. Isn't that so interesting? Let me grab the book, wherever it is. Oh, it's over here. It's usually in my bookshelf. So I just want to just have a look in here for back pain, because it is about the base chakra, but I just feel called to share this. Back. There's lots of back. I wonder if it says lower back in particular. Healing disease. It doesn't really say actually. It just says like about the herniated disc or sciatica, scoliosis. So it is. It's base chakra. The lower back is when there's pain there or twinges or anything like that. It's always about trust. So base chakra is trust, financial support, like finances, sexuality, life purpose, and physical reality, like home life, career, like everything in the physical life, yeah, meaning your physical body, meaning, you know, like all that, everything, right? Everything in our physical reality is base chakra, yeah? But specifically life purpose, money, sexuality, and career as well. Yeah, back pain. Thanks, Shannon. Yeah, so lots going on there about the back stuff. And you had back pain as well, okay. So we're all coming into the money. Back is also, so obviously you got your upper back, middle back, and lower back. Your whole back is about support, because your back is what like supports you, right? So if, you know, wherever it is in your back can, you know, mean different things as well. So the whole thing about like releasing your spiritual vows of poverty, in December, I did the 21-day shifter, money shifter with my Trust and Intuition tribe, and I did it as a gift in that. And I felt really intuitively called to do it, and a lot of us shifted a lot. And then as if you've been following me, you would have seen in February I announced that I realized that I'd done 100K in 7 months, and 24K of that came in 6 weeks after we finished the 21-day shifter. So it was just like, okay. So all of this came really quickly and shifted a lot. It's so interesting when spiritual people want to talk about money, well, not just spiritual people, anyone in general can, not everybody, but a lot of people are like really don't want to look at money. Okay, and I know because I've been there before, right? But I guarantee you when you start looking at your money, it's like something happens when we do that, right? Because let alone like the spiritual vows of poverty, which I'll go into shortly. And as I said before, it's like people think it's not spiritual to have money. It's like, well, everything is energy, and conscious spiritual people are kind of the ones that need the money in the world to do good in the world, right? So it's like removing all these like connotations around money and like, you know, all these binds and like padlocks that we've got on our energetic field that are stopping us from receiving, right? Now, it's just started raining. I don't know if you guys can hear that. The thing, right, that happens as well when we start looking at money is we realize that it's not just about money. It's actually about caring for ourselves. It's actually about loving ourselves. It's actually about love. Now, it might sound really weird, right? But if you think about it, right? So let's talk about the base chakra, seeing as though a lot of people are talking about back pain and everything like that. So medical issue, okay, glad you got that checked out. And you got a broken back, Rebecca, full on. Yours is lower back. Yeah, okay. So what about heart pain? In the back or the front? So heart pain can, so different. Obviously, you definitely want to get heart pain checked out or any pains checked out in your physical body about, you know, from the doctor. And when we, you know, heart pain, yeah, can be fully different, but it's like in the back, it's kind of like, well, where are you feeling like unsupported in your back? Where are you not kind of letting it in, right? Where you're not letting it in. And the whole thing, when we look at money, it's about letting it in, right? And when we talk about money is love, it's like, well, how can that be? That doesn't make sense. So it's like, well, if you guys believe, right? If you guys follow me and if you believe that we create our own reality and that everything is made up of energetic atoms, yeah, everything is atoms, whether this card deck, whether this crystal, whether this phone, like everything, whether me is made up of like energetic atoms, right? We're like vibrating atoms of different densities, yeah? Money is no different. It is no different, okay? Now, when we look at our base chakra, yeah, so we look at our base chakra, and as I said, it's sexuality, it's trust, it's finances, it's physical reality, so it's our home, it's our career, it's the people in our reality, like it's everything about our physical reality, right? So if we're looking at those areas, for instance, and then we're like, oh yeah, like, you know, I'm really working on my sexual traumas, or I'm really working to open up sexually, which is really important, by the way, because if we're closed in our sexuality, well then it's like pulling down on our base chakras, not allowing everything else to flow in, right? And if you haven't done Divine Step number 1 to Awakening Your Life Purpose, which is in my Reality Awareness Support Group on Facebook, it's my free group. If you're not in there, you can send me a message to add you to that group. Doing the 12 Divine Steps to Awaken Your Life Purpose for free over 2019. We're almost up to Divine Step number 3, but you can get, you know, you can still do the other trainings. They're sitting there waiting for you. And the reason I brought that up is because Divine Step number 1 allows you to look at every single area of your life, right? Divine Step number 1 is honesty. If we're not being honest with every single area of our life, and I talk about the spider web, and we're looking at all these bits on the web, well, money's there too, right? And it's like, if we're like, don't want to look at that, we're kind of like, there's like an anchor, like down there, right? And we're trying to move forward in our life, but it's like these anchors. It's like, ooh, what else are you not looking at, right? It's kind of like, ooh, my sexuality, I'm not really up for that too. So you got like these 2 anchors like weighing you down. You're trying to go this way, and like these anchors are like weighing you down, right? It's like, and all you need to do is go, oh, come here. Oh. And then all of a sudden you don't have this weight down there, and you go, oh, I can move forward now because I've got it, and we're tending to it like a mother would nurture a baby, right? Because every single aspect of your life, let's talk base chakra specifically, money, trust, your home, everyone in your reality, like career, finances, like all that, right? Sexuality, when we look at that area, it's like, what area of that base chakra are you not tending to? What are you not looking at, right? It's like these are aspects of you. These are aspects of you, these are aspects of yourself, of your reality, of what makes up you. Now, what's coming to mind to share is, if we're like, so the message I'm getting for some reason to talk about a relationship. So if you're trying to attract a relationship, right? Or you're wondering why you're attracting the same sorts of relationships all the friggin' time, right? It's like, oh, this is the same sort of, oh, there's another one, right? Whether it's career, whether it's love life, whether it's something else. Okay, it's like, what is irking you about them in particular? What is it? What is the, oh, another person, right? What is that? Because I guarantee if you take an honest look, Divine Step number 1 to Awakening Your Life Purpose is honesty, yeah? This is in action, yeah? If you're not being honest with every single area of your reality, it's going to be a weight. And that weight and that anchor down there is like fully like in like hard physical reality. It's like dense, right? Because you're ignoring it. Yeah, you're ignoring and pushing a part of you, separating yourself away, right? Now, when you do that, it's like a denser part of reality. Okay, now the more that you look at something, you're bringing not only your conscious awareness to it, you're bringing light to it, right? I always say that everything is just unconsciousness, and we want to bring our consciousness to it. Yeah, so all we need to do is go, oh, let's bring it up here and have a look at it. Yeah? So in that space, it's like when we look at money, it's the same deal, right? Now, in this, the specific thing I want to talk about on this live stream, because there's so many things we talk about. That's why, so the 21-day shifter, the 21-day money shifter is a fully self-paced course that you can work through at your own time. And it's what I took my Trust Intuition Tribe through in December. And when we look at the spiritual vows of poverty, for example, right? Now, as whatever you call yourself, right? Lightworker, empath, fairy, angel, whatever you resonate with, whatever you are, right? If you follow me, if you're watching this right now and you've been called to watch this, you've probably found that you love the earth, You love its inhabitants. You love everything about it. You'd want to bring more love to the earth. You don't want to see the hate and the violence and the starvation and everything that's going on in the world, right? Give me a yes and give me some love hearts if this is you guys, yeah? Give me some love hearts if you're like resonating with like, yeah, I just want more love in the world. I don't want love. I want love in my life. I want love through the whole world. I don't want any wars on the planet. I just want peace. I want us all to come back to homeostasis, to be completely in alignment so everyone's living their purpose and everyone's free and happy and we don't have these restrictions over our head and living separately and all these problems in the world, right? If you're watching this, I highly assume that you're one of these people, okay? Now, one of these people, like you guys, yeah, we've been around on this earth for eons of time. Yeah, for eons of time. We have been here since the dawning ages of time, and we have come back again and again and again and again and again, right? Now, some people don't believe that. That's fine. I'm not saying that's what's definite, ultimate truth, because at the end of the day, who really knows, okay? But that's what resonates with me and what I personally believe. I recommend you guys trust what feels right for you, but that's what I feel. And what I feel when we have these like recurring lives, right? And we're going over and all this time, like we've been here for a long time. We've been here right from the beginning when there wasn't even any money around. We were here on this planet, right? And this is unlocking spiritual poverty vow number 1. Okay, I'm going to go through 2 of them. This is unlocking spiritual poverty vow number 1. We were around, our souls remember, we were around long before money, even before trading was around, right? Everyone just had a respect for everything. They understood how the world worked, understood how the dynamics, the energy, the magic, all of that worked. There wasn't even need for bickering or trade or any of that. That's how long you guys have been here, right? Now, who knows what really happened, but we've gone through all these eons of time where the power balance has flipped, and all of a sudden there's all these templates, grids, whatever you want to call them, being placed over our belief system, over our head, over our energy field, over a lot of things, right? Now, over people, over consciousness, and we've been brought to believe that we need to, say, work hard for money, or we need to trade our time for money, like all that sort of thing, right? Like we've been, over these eons of time, we started trading, and then like money came in, and then, you know what I mean? Like these systems are being put into place to control us and make sure we're in this tight little knit thing that we don't do anything else, right? Now, there's a lot of unrest on the world because there's so many people going, actually, this doesn't feel right. Something's not right here. Yeah? So when we look at spiritual poverty vow number 1, it's like our soul, our body DNA, whatever it is, remembers when actually there wasn't even money on the planet. So when we have blocks around money, it's kind of like going right back to the core, going deep, 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 as deep as when you were first on the planet, right? It's a long time. But we remember that's how it is. So when we start going forward to do money, we're like, oh, but, from soul memory, like, it's so subconscious and ingrained. We're like, actually, but this is like not how it's supposed to be even. So why would I want to do that? Because that's not right. Because we're still stuck back here. We are stuck back here. Okay? We want to remember that we are living, and this is a simple brain training. I'm giving you guys tips right now. I hope you're writing them down. Okay? Simple brain training. Telling yourself, speaking to yourself, actually, Hannah, it's 2019. We're living in like the most modern era that there is or has been. Well, I don't know, Egyptians with their technology's back there, probably a bit more advanced maybe. Anyway, you get what I'm saying, right? Hannah, we live in 2019. We are not bad at that. Yes, we're going to bring back there to here, but right now I need to be honest in my reality, which is divine step number 1 to waking your life purpose. Honest in my reality that actually I do live in 2019 and sometimes it kind of sucks balls, actually. Like, be honest. Be honest and authentic with your feelings, right? And I call it a purge journal. Get out a piece of paper and purge out all your stuff. Like, actually, I don't like being here. Actually, this bit sucks. This, you know, blah, 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 blah. Get it out. Get it out and then screw it up, put it in the bin or safely burn it. Get it out. Be authentic. Get it out. Yeah, otherwise that's sitting in your energetic body, right? And you're hampering it down, right? Trying to push it down because, oh, it's supposed to be all love and light and it's all roses and beautiful and I love this earth and but underneath we're like, but this actually sucks. This reality fucking sucks right now. Like, I need more money and da 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 da, like whatever your story is, right? But you're not being authentic and letting out because it's gonna be all love and light and everything's beautiful and oh my god. Fuck no, okay? No. Purge that fucking shit out. Why? Because then it's not stored down here. Because what happens when we're pushing and suppressing our authentic feelings down, 1, it's very fucking tiring. And 2, energetically, this is what we're vibrating out to the world. So what is the universe giving us? Angry, resentful people, shit going wrong in every situation fucking possible, and all these things keep going wrong in my fucking life. It's like, yeah, because you're holding all this shit in and you ain't being authentic. It's gotta be authentic and spiritual and everything's lovely. Nope. Purge it out, right? Purge. Purging is so important, okay? But not in your good journal, not in your like dream manifesting journal, right? Have a purge journal. It's a pad of paper because you want to rip that stuff off and you want to throw it out and burn it or something, right? Safely burn. So with these spiritual poverty vows, right? Number 1, it's like bring yourself up into 2019. Have an honest check-in with where you're at in your life. Instead of suppressing it, get it out, right? Purge all the stuff out that you don't enjoy about your life currently, yeah? Then you want to bring into our rewiring and recoding, rewriting our beliefs. Yeah, so get out your good journal. And then we're writing down all these things about what we do love about 2019 and being in the modern day era and what you're here to do on this planet, because you're seeing all these things you hate in the world. And by the way, your hate and judgment is also pouring more hate and judgment in the world, Lightworker. So what do we do about that stuff? We get onto our life purpose and we focus on what we do want to create and we put all our energy into that, because what does it do? Where energy goes, where our attention goes, energy flows. Then we're creating that world that we know that was like back then, and we're bringing it into the future. We're bringing it into now by keeping that big picture vision of how it used to be and bringing the two together. Now, whether or not that happens in your lifetime or somebody else's lifetime, who really knows, okay? But what you're doing right now is, regardless of what you're doing, you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds. You're planting seeds. The more you stay focused, dear Lightworker, on what you're here to do from what you remember the world used to be like, and just continually focus on that and continually put your gifts out to the world and continually do what you're meant to do in authentic heart space vibration that's not full of hurt, pain, and resentment. Right? When we can truly bring that authentic, grounded, solid space in and feel every emotion on all these scales, then our power increases, our energy and our vibration increases to do what we're here to do. So that spiritual poverty vow number 1 is releasing the fact, like pulling yourself from all those eons of time. Actually, we're in 2009. You might have a memory of that, but don't live back there, right? Now, it's so interesting because the other thing is like, yes, it's important to dive into the subconscious and do all internal work. Like, it's kind of like that's what your normal reality should be like, but it doesn't become work, it becomes who you are. You're always catching yourself, you're always pulling yourself up, you're always purging when you need to. You've been doing a purge journal for the last week. Love it, love it. It is so important to purge, okay? It's just like if you can imagine like a cluttered house, you do a purge and you declutter, right? So you do the same with your emotions. You can't push them down or you're going to get sick, let alone drained and tired and wonder why the world's reflecting back to you your anger that you've suppressed, right? The other thing about spiritual poverty vows, so spiritual poverty vow number 2, is how much time do you want to spend in the past in all the shit things. So you know how we do like this past life work and we do, you know, like dive into the subconscious and we dive into our childhood and we dive into the past and we dive into all that. Whilst that stuff is really important, it's also important to go, ooh, how much time am I spending here in the past, in the trauma, in the hurt, in all that. Whilst, yes, please know that I'm saying we need to get that stuff out of our vibration because it's the same as suppressing, okay? At the same time, if we're consistently going back to past lives when we're in like poverty and famine and all of that, like, yes, we need to dive in to clear that, but it's like, how many times do we want to go back to that place? Well, no, we don't actually. So you want to ask yourself, where was I? Where was that period of time in my past that I lived in abundance, that I lived in luxury, that I lived in all of that, and do a past life meditation that takes you back to where that first started. Now I'm going to share something with you that was really, really powerful in shifting this for me, is that I'd got that in journaling. I was like, how many, like, you know, I'd done past lives of famine and, you know, like, I think it was, 1800s or was it the 1700s when there was a massive famine that wiped out, you know, so many people and all of that. And, you know, the poverty-stricken places, you know, like there's so much that's going on in recent history, let alone way back, yeah? And then in all history, there's always luxury and abundance and there's always poverty and famine. Always. Like, give me a time when the earth wasn't like that. Oh, probably when we first came on, which is way back, right? That's what we all remember. So it's not about denying the poverty stuff, because I feel like we do need to go and unlock that stuff to release it. But spiritual poverty vow number 2 is asking yourself, where along the timeline was I actually living in abundance? Where along the timeline was I living in luxury and I was sustained? Yeah? When you ask that question, you will be shown. Now, what happened for me is I was like, how many like past lives of poverty and stuff had gone back in, and I was like, okay, well, I remember specifically in one of them, I was just like, it's just like death and torture. Like, what the hell, right? I was kind of had enough of it. And I was like, I said to myself, I was like, well, you know, because I discovered all these past lives, you know, every time you do a past life meditation, you go back deeper. Like you can go, you know, when you're dealing with one specific issue, and this is how I teach my clients and my students, we deal with one specific issue, and then basically you can do, like with that one specific issue, you can do the past life meditation 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, not back to back, but over a couple of days, right? And so you do it once and then you know, kind of come back up to reality. So you're going deeper, or you're going older, past lives, whatever you want to call it. And basically you kind of go, okay, this happened here. Okay, well, where did that start from? Oh, okay, this happened here. Okay, where did that go? Okay, here, right? It's kind of go 3 deep. It's the number 3 thing, right? Now, of course, you don't have to. You choose how you want to heal, but that's what I've usually found kind of unlocks the main core. Because I remember I was in this past life meditation, there was all this shit going on, as there is, and those past life meditations are usually pretty graphic and horrific at times, seeing how you died and all that sort of thing, but giving you that clarity. And I asked myself, well, I've had like these past several past lives of poverty and famine and all this stuff. I'm like, well, where did that even start from? Why did I have several past lives of this stuff? And then when it dropped into like in Egypt, and I was some, you know, I don't know if it was queen or something, right? Something high up. And I'd made a decision that had, you know, like spurred on all this like bad stuff in the kingdom or in the whatever I was looking after, right? I was one of the head people. And I remember dying and having that vow and saying to myself, I don't ever want to be in power again. I don't want to do this ever again. And so then I was like living in all this like poverty and like, all this stuff. And I was just like, okay, well, I'm wiping that clean now. I've done that, experienced all of that. Enough of that now. I'm ready to live a life of abundance. Yeah. And that was a big turning point when I shifted that. And it's like, it is a definite choice. Now you don't have to do all this deep spiritual work. Yes, you can just make a simple choice to live in abundance and to choose that reality now. And it is important that you do that. But then what's important is notice what comes up when you decide that and start moving forward, right? Because these blocks will always come up. It's like, oh, something else to clear, something else to clear. Okay, cool, I'm getting later, right? So there's your two spiritual, what is it? I can't even say it. Spiritual vows of poverty. Oh, look, there's a third one, right? Third one, so important. I didn't plan to share that one just then, but that's okay. This is channeling, trusting what's coming through. Okay, so number 3 that I want to talk about briefly is obviously with all these past lives we've had, if you are into the spiritual stuff in some way, shape or form, you have probably, I'd say high chance, 70 to 90% chance that you have at some point been either a monk or a nun or some other sort of spiritual person that would have taken some sort of vow of like celibacy or poverty, like, do you know what I mean? Like just no items, so it's kind of like if you get a good thing, you're like, oh, not supposed to have that, and you'll kind of push it away and oh, give all this stuff away, right? And you'll give it all away, or you'll, that you'll spend it more than it, what is that? I rewrote that off mine, so I can't even think what that is now. That thing that is, because mine is it comes in faster than it goes out. So the other thing, because I've rewritten my belief, how strong is that? It's not even there anymore. So, you know what I'm saying? Like these things that we've like said, again, this is very similar to the, what is it? The releasing the curse of humanity that I did, right? It's words. It is literally words. Yeah, and if we've said that in a past life and we haven't cleared it, we're carrying it in our field. So whatever kind of block is coming up for you around money, comes in faster than it goes out. That one, Leanne. Yeah. So when we can catch ourselves in these spaces and then do that work, we can shift our reality really fast, okay? And that's in the 21-day money shifter. There is lots and lots and lots of pieces of gold. There's 21 days actually of pieces of gold that you will be sent about how to rewrite your reality, how to do the deep inner work. All the tools are provided that you need over those 21 days to be able to shift, clear, and bring in and let your vibration and your body receive the money that you want, that you desire, that you deserve, that you're here to do big things in the world or even help just someone, even yourself, to get through and no more getting through, actually live without worrying about money, right? Tell me who would like to just live without having to worry about where money's coming from or how my bills are going to be paid, or like give me lots of love hearts or give me a yes if you'd really love to know, like just have just no stress about money at all. Like just, I don't have to worry. I just know my bills are paid. It doesn't even enter your mind anymore because it's just done, right? Yes, yes, yes. All right, so Kelly, when you say always feel guilt when I spend money on myself, that is literally about like that you probably got some sort of vow of monk or spirituality where you're not supposed to have like none or whatever. You're not supposed to have anything, right? So be looking in that. I'm supposed to be rich. Exactly. We know, right? We know that, right? Because our soul is also abundant, right? Our soul at its core is expansion and is abundant and full, yeah, and constantly expanding. but it's our human construction that we put all these belief systems in place, and we have these experiences that cause us pain, that would cause us to shut down our heart, to shut down and hold all this stuff, and we're carrying all this stuff, and it's why purging is so important. Yeah? All right. I will go through the comments after the live stream and comment to you guys properly, I feel. I'll just have a quick look, but there's lots of comments. Yes, exactly. Natural self-sufficient lifestyle, right? And the whole thing, like, wouldn't it be awesome to go back to that? It's kind of like, well, how can we create that now? And it's like, well, the world needs to change, and the world needs to do this and this and this and this before I can do that. It's kind of like, whoa, check out that money block. Yeah, and I'm not saying that's you, Carrie, but just that's what came to mind as an example, right? And this is where we get really honest. It's like, well, where am I not being honest in my reality around how I can do that now? Oh shit, I don't even look at my finances. I barely even want to Well, how are you going to create that life, that sustainable planet without looking at that now in your own life, let alone the world, right? And the biggest thing that really hit me, and it actually floored me for quite a few months at the last bit of last year. It really shook me, but it was not at the time very nice. But it was the wake-up call that I needed to rise as a light worker, as a healer, as someone who's here to do big things in the world. If we've got money blocks, we're not going to be able to do what we're really meant to be doing, right? If you're and again, your life purpose might not be that you're supposed to be, front page of every magazine on the world, and that might not be your purpose, right? But your purpose, and the thing is, it's like, well, if you're not 100% satisfied and at peace with every single area of your life where you are right now, then there's something that you need to look at and move towards and make happen, and be honest about your reality and check in to create that, to do that, right? So what was I going to say about that? So that's the thing, yeah? It's kind of like, you're supposed to be rich, you're supposed to be wealthy. Well, what is going on? Like, what is happening here? And that was what I was saying, the biggest wake-up call for me last year that took me quite a bit to recover from, and it's because I had to face myself. I had to face every area of my reality. I had to really look at it. Sounds silly, doesn't it? Like, reality awareness, life purpose queen, like not even looking at herself. It's like, well, I do look at myself, but this was a full look at, and the biggest part of it was my money blocks. And one amazing money block, like just one of them, right? There's so many that, we had to shift and whatever, but is that very spiritual, very tapped in, very intuitive, right? I know that. I know I'm different to most of mainstream society. You guys, you get me. I get you, because you're the same, okay? We're so tapped into the higher realms. We're so there with our intuition. We hear it, see it. We live in this spiritual world. But we're not actually bringing that to reality to do the physical things. Very base chakra. Yeah, it's very base chakra. To do the things that are going to create the shifts that we need in our life. And it takes willingness. Oh, funnily, behold, on the 12th of March, so next week, in the Reality Awareness Support Group, Divine Step number 3 is willingness. What a surprise, right? There's honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. We need to be willing to do what our soul is guiding us to do if we wish to create that which we are asking for, right? It's like, oh, well, I know I'm supposed to be rich, so it's just going to come to me, right? There was a thing when I first got into the spiritual stuff, right? I just knew I was supposed to be rich. I knew I was supposed to be wealthy. I knew I was supposed to be abundant, right? And I was looking for it everywhere, and every single opportunity I was in it, right? When I was 21, I was just like, that's this, it's this, it's this, right? Everyone thought I was loopy and crazy because I was just all over the shop in all these things, right? Nothing wrong with that, but it wasn't very grounded, and I didn't know any different at the time, right? I still love you, Hannah, it's okay. So when we're in that space, what I learned is there was this chain letter thing that came, right? There was a chain letter thing that came in the mail, and it said something like the actual physical mail back then, not an email. And it was like, to the owner or whatever, something like, if you send a $10 note to all these addresses, wasn't $10, if you send this letter to all these addresses, then you're going to receive $10 back or something. Like, it was some ridiculous thing. And like, I was 21 at the time, I didn't have much money. I was like, you know, I did it. I spent all this money on like envelopes, printing, like all that sort of jazz. And I sent it out, and then nothing came back in. And I was like, well, what's going on here? I'm like, this is how I was supposed to make my money. Like, it was ridiculous, right? You probably think I'm really crazy for even believing something like that. But what it taught me is that we need to do the internal work to shift, not just wait for something to come in. Yeah, or it's like, yeah, it's gonna come. It's like, unless we're doing the internal work, and that doesn't have to be hard work, then we're putting those ripples out. We're in here, we're rewriting, rewiring in our brain, rewiring, yeah? And it becomes our normal practice. It becomes our normal day-to-day way of being. Yeah, mindset is everything. You got those too. Oh dear. Awesome. I'm not the only one. You had a past life dream and you woke up feeling healed. That's awesome. Because it was a traumatic dream and I died. Yeah, the thing is, when we, you know, they usually are traumatic when we do see them, our past lives. Like, you know, it's kind of can scare you a little bit, especially if you're not used to it. But when we discover that aspect of our lives, right, and we see how we die, even though it was traumatic, seeing it, you know, as you said, you wake up healed. Because what we're doing is, when we're going back to a past life and we're seeing how we died, we usually, like, what that is, it's like, well, the other spiritual poverty vow number 4, if you want to write it down, is it's like, it's also the fact that, well, I died like this in my past life, doing what I know I was supposed to be doing. So in this lifetime, we don't want to be doing that again. We might go, yeah, it's great. And then we move on, we go, and we get to this point and we're stuck here. For whatever reason, we're like, what it usually is, well, there's so many things, but another aspect that it can be is that we know, in the body soul memory knows, we died back then like that, doing our purpose, doing what we know we're supposed to do. So we're doing what we're supposed to be doing again. And then we're like, oh, but I don't want to die again. So I'm not letting you go any further. And energetically, you won't move any further. So when we go back and we see how I died, like, oh, okay, and like, you might get a bit of an understanding of the story. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, it's actually 2019. I'm probably not going to get killed like that again. And then it's like, well, explore it. It's like, well, if I get killed, what's going to happen? Well, I'm just going to die, and then I'm going to go to the light or something. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to reincarnate, and I'm going to do the same thing again, because I need to finish this job, right? So you're like, literally the self-talk, and this is where I mean it doesn't have to be hard when we are, you know, self-talking all the time, when we catch ourselves and we're like, actually, Hannah, it's 2019. I'm here with you. You're safe. Let's do this, right? So it gets better every day. Yeah, in the start it is tricky, can be harder. So yeah. Okay, awesome. It's come at the perfect time, Danny. Yeah, wanting to be and receiving. Yes, awesome. And that's what it's all about. And this is where I'm saying, you know, and say that money is about love. Money is about receiving love. And the most judgmental people on the planet usually don't feel loved because they're blocking it. And they usually have a hard time with money because they're also blocking it, right? Because it's not just about money, it's about receiving anything. Anything at all. Yeah, it's a receiving energy. Yeah. All right, so I am just scrolling through the comments. Thanks for that lower back, Tammy. So Tammy shared about the lower back in there. and you just sorted your taxes, yes, it is big looking at it. But the more we look at it, it's the same with anything, right? Just like I said, yeah, spiritual work feels like work in the start. But what actually happens is that it gets easier, because it's like learning to drive a car. It's like overwhelming. We're like, because we're learning something new. And now you drive a car and you don't even think about it. That's why, as I say, it doesn't have to be hard work, because over time you catch yourself. You're like, it's actually 2019. It's okay. You're safe, right? You might need to do a past life meditation, unlock something there. All right. Let me know if this has helped you guys. I'm just seeing what else is coming through that I need to share with you. There's a lot of people with a lot of physical symptoms lately too, and I got the message before this live stream that I'm going to do a live stream in my Reality Awareness support group. I'm not sure if it'll be today or this week sometime, but I'm going to share about this physical sickness, symptoms, all this stuff, right? I've got a lot to say about it, because I've had all these shifts and realizations myself. All right, awesome. Okay, John loves this. Okay, yes. All right. Okay, so all right, what I'm going to do, hey Greg, is I'm going to, I don't know, take us through some sort of releasing spiritual vows of poverty meditation. I didn't know if I was going to, but it's just coming through. And what I'm actually going to do for the weekly intuitive energy update is I'm going to take us through the spiritual vows of poverty. I don't know why I get getting stuck on it. It must be because I think I like worked through quite a bit at the end of last year about that. So, which is why I created the 21-day shifter program. Let me put in the details for that now, and then I'm going to take us through the releasing spiritual vows of poverty. So this here is the 21-day money shifter, and what this is, so I just put the link in there. It's literally 21 days of things that come directly to your email. So once you grab it and once you join in, then basically for 21 days you'll receive an email a day from me with journal prompts, with mindset, with inner child work, with sacred rituals to amplify your wealth, to really shift deep down core, right, to what's going on. Now those 21 days, if you're like, I don't have time to do 21 days, basically you can just put those emails in a specific email folder, and then you can get to them when you get to them. There's a really powerful process in there. There's activation rituals, there's wealth codes that you receive, there's connection to your higher self, to your spiritual guides, to that deep inner child, because the deep inner child is where you've been hurt in the past. So you receive the inner child meditation and all of that. So I just put the link into that. So my Trust Intuition tribe, you guys came through that with me in December, and we all had big shifts from that. So I'm going to take us through this now, the releasing of spiritual vows of poverty, and then I'll jump off this live stream, and then I'll jump back on a new live stream and do the weekly intuitive update separately. Didn't know that was going to happen. Okay, so just allowing yourself to keep your eyes open or closed. You can take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, allowing your inhale and allowing your exhale. Just allowing your body, your aura, and your chakras to relax, and just notice as you tune into your physical body, notice how deep your breath is, or notice if you're breathing deeply or whether you're breathing shallow, and just allow yourself, tell your body that you're safe and that you're able to relax. So you take a deep breath in and out. So you're tuning into your physical body and tuning in to your spiritual body, to your soul, to your chakras, to your aura, and the connection between your physical body and your spiritual body and your aura. And just noticing how big or how small your aura is. Is it really wide and bright and big bubble, or is it kind of a bit dark and mellow and weak and close to your body? Just noticing your energetic body, your aura. And I want you to just take a scan in your aura. So just noticing, when I say scan your aura, so you might see your aura, or you might just feel it, or you might just know, oh, I just know that my aura is big. Or you might hear that your aura has a sound. And I want you to scan your aura with your senses and just notice if there's a particular thing kind of stuck in your aura or sitting in your aura that, I don't know, is bringing your attention. It's like, well, I don't know, is this even mine? And just noticing this thing sitting in your aura, noticing if it does feel like it's yours. Notice if it has a color or a symbolic shape or has a sound, or you just know that it's blue, or you know that it's actually not yours. You know that it's kind of pierced your aura and it's just sitting there, or you know that it's something that you've created that's sitting there. Which direction has it come from? Has it come from you, or has it come from something and it's pierced your aura? Just tuning into that now. Just noticing that standing in front of you is your spiritual helper of 100% light. It could be your dragon, it could be your archangel, it could be your star being, it could be an animal. Just tuning in to what spiritual helper of 100% light, the first thing that comes to mind. And they are here to help you remove this from your aura. You can see them removing it now, and you notice that as they remove it, they also replace it with a particular color, or perhaps it's a healing energy or a healing water or a healing symbol. Notice what symbol that comes to you, and then allow this, I guess, hole in your aura to heal. Notice if they're placing a particular almost like a bandage but light, or just notice that your aura just repairs itself, because when we give our physical and our spiritual body a chance to repair, it does. It comes back into homeostasis, balance, to its perfect state of being. Now this thing that has been replaced in there, this sacred geometric shape, this liquid water, this liquid color, just notice what it is. And I want you to tune into the frequency of that. You might have received information about what that was stuck in your aura. And if that did come from you originally, allowing that space inside your physical body to also receive this healing energy, this light, this symbolic code, this shape. Just noticing where it goes to in your body. Notice your aura being repaired and healed. We don't necessarily need to know all the details to receive the healing. We don't need the conscious understanding to receive the healing. We just need to be open to receiving. Just allow yourself, with your awareness of this space, if it is a sacred geometric shape or liquid, I want you to ask it to switch on and activate. You can see your spiritual helper of 100% light also helping it to switch on and activate. Now replacing it and being in your frequency for your new being to release these spiritual vows of poverty so that you can claim your abundance. Step into this powerful space that you are and remove anything that is not yours, that is no longer in alignment, that you no longer need to carry around, so you can take an honest look at every single area of your life and literally take it out, transform it, heal it, repair it, and create a whole new vibration to allow yourself to move forward into the life, the destiny that you know you are meant to and born to live. As you take a deep breath in, you give thanks to your spiritual helper of 100% light. You might notice they leave you or they might stay with you. So you gently open your eyes, gently wiggling your toes, your fingers. Coming back to your physical space that you're in. You can gently move your body, take a drink of water if you need to. And I highly recommend you to either write or draw any messages, any colors, shapes, symbols. Perhaps you just knew, perhaps you didn't get anything. That's okay. But when you write down, when you draw, especially with color, it helps to strengthen your third eye. It brings your intuition into reality. It strengthens it and amplifies it, especially with this new vibrational frequency that just got upgraded into your system. So I'd highly recommend taking some time to write that down now. And I'm going to jump off this live stream, take a mini break, and I will come back on for our weekly intuitive update and go through our weekly and intuitive energy update, because this has been purely about the spiritual vows of poverty, and I would love to just leave it with that, but I'm so curious what comes up for our next week. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so you guys can repeat that as often as you like and totally clear and transform your aura. You're so welcome. I will see you again shortly for our weekly intuitive update. Lots of love. Namaste.